Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, guys. As soon as you walk in the door, and as soon as you come in, as soon as you hit the screen, make sure you hit that like button. If you have not done so already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have not done so already, please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. Yo, what's going on, Prince Akeem? What's going on, New Joiner? What's popping? What's cracking like it?
Good.
What is going on, man? I'm good. I'm chilling. I've been busy today,
Well,
but hey, man, I'm ready to get it started.
let's do it. Well, we got a dope topic tonight, so I think we're about to get it in. So, Jordan, go ahead, do your thing.
We're gonna hurt some people's feelings tonight, though.
Sure, but it needs to be talked about. It definitely needs to be talked about. So what's going on, people? What's going on, man? Yeah, hey, we got a good topic for y'all. Y'all see it. Y'all see what the title says. Do women really want a Christian man? A God-fearing man, or y'all just saying that just to say something, or is it cap? So the reason I thought about this is I see a lot of these dating shows, pretty much on y'all know about Kendra G and her dating shows of how majority of the women that comes on here, they ask for a God-fearing man.
Yeah.
And the thing is about it, when I hear some of these women wanting somebody that's God-fearing, usually their past relationships or past marriages or boyfriends, it didn't apply of before they're having a God-fearing man. So once they leave these type of relationships, they look for something new. It's like, okay, I'm ready for this type of person, a good, Christian, God-fearing man, who's deeply religious, reads the Bible, who could set me up, who could set me straight and everything. I really believe some women think they want that, but when they get somebody like that, when they have, their religious beliefs or they have their own ground rules, or what they do, it's like they want that, but they think secondhand about it. Say, I don't know if I can do this because, these modern women, they're not so traditional in a way. Because a man usually wants a woman who's traditional, not some of these modern women that it is today. So I think this is very, very important to talk about because I know someone that's gonna watch this, they might hurt their feelings a little bit, and but hey, it's coming from us. We just gonna let them know, hey, what we feel about it, what we think about it, of what we want. And what are the requirements that you have? I mean that you can that you can fit that. Being a God-fearing woman, can you get that? And one of the things that we talked about is for men, it's like is that submissiveness. Can you be submissive? And a lot of women has a problem with that word submissive because they use that word as a term as, oh, you want me to be a slave, especially in our community, Black women. So we're going to play 2 clips that I sent to Hakeem, and after that, we're going to get crack-a-lacking.
All right. Doesn't matter which one, play anyone?
It doesn't matter. You can pick anyone.
Humans from every other creation is that every creation that God made lives by instinct. What naturally comes up when I'm faced with a situation, what I do naturally, what I want to do. But God said, I've given you a tool in imagination to be able to look at a situation that your instinct wants to take over and say, hold on, God has given me a picture of something different than what I'm about to naturally do. That's why when old girl walks by with a pretty face and a little waist and everything popping where it needs to pop, as a male, I have an instinct. Y'all want to be fake today? There's an instinct on the inside of me to say, hey, God bless you. Look what God has done through you, in you, on you. But because I've imagined myself a man of valor, Because I've imagined myself loving one woman until the day that I die. Because I've imagined myself being able to stand and my kids standing up and calling me blessed. Because I've imagined myself being able to stand in the face of temptation and be able to be somebody who passed the test. I don't live by instinct. I live by the imagination that God has planted in me, because I have lived my life by the word of God. And the saddest thing, many of us are still living on instinct. Something happens, something comes. That's why fear grips.
But I'm not a man. What do you mean?
What do you think it means to be a man?
Can I just tell you what I look for?
Yeah. What do you think you look for?
Well, I look for what the Bible tells me to look for.
The Bible.
But I need him to be God-fearing, because this is what my thing is. Jesus is the standard. So whatever Jesus says is what goes. But if you are, everyone has.
He don't believe in Jesus.
Okay, it's fine, but you asked me what mine is. So my thing is, everyone has endless opinions. So if everybody else is just making their own standard, I need someone who's looking at the same standard that I'm looking at.
Right.
So if God says, in the Bible, it says omitting the truth is a lie. If you read the Bible, but you could be somebody else and say, if as long as I don't say it, it's not a lie. But the Bible says if you omit the truth, it's still a lie. So if I have a man that's reading the Bible, I have a man that's God-led and is reading the same thing I'm reading, we're both at the same standard.
I respect that.
All right, y'all. Like I said, people that's watching this, we might hurt some feelings, because we're going to, me, Hakeem and Ronnie, we definitely going to go in on this. We're not going to hold back.
No.
So I'm going to pass it to you guys. What do y'all think about this, and what do y'all think about this? Go ahead.
Well, of course, I'm gonna start it off, but we just warming up, so we just gonna take it easy. I got my red cup of this. We're gonna take it easy. No, women do not want a God-fearing man. I think everybody already know that. It's just something they just want to say to make themselves feel good. Because if that was the case, how come there's a lot of God-fearing men not being married? How come there's a lot of God-fearing men always have issue with women? How come there's always a God-fearing man always subscribing to red pill content? Because the simple fact is the girls don't really want them. You know what I mean? So it's just a sad thing. It's a sad situation. However, I think the God-fearing man should just focus on him. Like I came always say, focus on him, and also focus on his purpose. And don't really focus on the woman too much, because when you focus on the woman too much, that when you tend to lose your characteristic as a God-fearing man. But it's something good. Now, don't get me wrong, because everybody always use the concept of Sierra and Russell Wilson. That's just only a small few numbers that ever happen. That rarely happens. Very small. So what did that tell you? And remember to keep that in mind. People always forget. Remember, Sierra had Bow Wow first, then Future. Keep that in mind.
Don't forget about 50 Cent too. Go ahead.
I forgot about 50 Cent. You're right. 50 Cent. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna come at from the standpoint who I've been in churches. I talk to a lot of people who are godly, who are actively in church. The ratio of black men that are in church are this much. Now, there's not a standard number, but you can go to any church and just count the heads. It's less black men in there than women. Now, what women have kids with, what women date is the opposite what they say out their mouth. Most women say they want a God-fearing man, but a God-fearing man is too weak for them. That's just for play. They get to God after they get into a bad breakup. I'm going to say something even more controversial. Most of the God-fearing men are over 55 or gay. That's my opinion. Or they're young kids, or you got the few that are struggling in their sexuality. Now, we're going to lose some subscribers after this. We're going to lose some subscribers. But I'm telling you, it's hypocrisy for you to come on a dating show and say you want a God-fearing man when you had a baby out of wedlock. When you're having, we getting there today.
Go ahead, Akeem. Go ahead.
I'm gonna take you to church. None of y'all, and then don't just say one passage of the Bible and say you are reading the Bible. You're not reading the Bible. The Bible is all big. There's a bunch of chapters into it. None of y'all exhibit Proverbs 31. None of y'all exhibit that. No, there's no man that exhibit Ephesians 5. I don't exhibit that. I'll be lying and say I'll be a fool. I'm still sinning as today. I'm actually sinning in my mind. So, but for a woman to want this mythical creature, this mythical man that she built in her mind, I need a man that God fearing. At most, you're going to get you in is an Uber driver who's sexually promiscuous and have about 4 or 5 kids. And you're going to fuck him with no problem. I'm going to let y'all brothers take it before I go in to the left with this.
Okay, this I'm gonna hit right on the belt buckle too. I can't find it because I thought about it too, and I read something about this too. Now we're in 2023, right? And we in the what 4th, 5th wave of feminism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's keep it a buck. A lot of women, they want to lead.
Yep.
They want to be leaders.
Yeah.
In this age of 2023, they want to be leaders. So let me tell you this. If you want a God-fearing man, you can't lead. The man has to lead.
Let's talk about it.
If you want a God-fearing man, you need to find a man that's going to lead because, I know there's women that want to be leaders, be bosses, in their jobs, their careers, just, being a CEO, that type of stuff. Okay, cool. But can you, once you get home, can you let that go and not be the leader and be that, that girlfriend long relationship to be that wife? Because, it's a lot of women who wants to lead, who thinks they think they're either, I'm just going to say they think they're above men. A lot of women think that, but they still want a God-fearing man. And for me, I really don't get that is because, in the order in the Bible, it's supposed to be God, the man, the woman, and the kids in that order. And I think, women sometimes they don't think about it or they see it, but they don't believe it, or they'll just, skip that part. It's this at this time, it's very, very challenging, of men and women just getting married, in the United States of America and how Western society is. These women gonna have to learn, to really, sit back, relax, and listen to the men. The men that you want, you're gonna have to listen to. And I'm telling you, men, I'm gonna tell you to this man too. If you're a God-fearing man, you don't have to chase women. A woman gonna find you.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna look at you as the authority, as the leader. I'm telling the truth. It might not be a lot out there, but there are some out there. There are some women who will, like I said, they will look at you and look at you as a leader. As long as you're confident in yourself and you assert yourself. Most you're gonna find a woman who's gonna follow your lead, follow your authority and everything. Because it's that's the right order that's been out here for thousands and thousands of years. And it's important that we, as men, as we continue, talk about it, in spaces, and talk about it to the women that you like and you care. Say, hey, if you want a God-fearing man, let me do what I need to do. Let me lead. I want you to be submissive. If you can, unconditionally. A lot of women have a problem being unconditionally submissive. They don't know what it is. They feel like I can be submissive sometimes. Like, no, y'all be there all the time. That's in your nature. That's definitely in your nature. But that's all I'm gonna say about this for now. But go ahead, fellas.
Hakeem made a great point earlier in his earlier monologue on the simple fact that women tend to go to God when they have a bad breakup. It's the same, and I agree with him. Women they want a God-fearing man after a bad breakup. That's when they want a man that's into God, quote unquote. How come they don't have that same energy when they first meet the guy? Say, hey, I want a God-fearing man. They normally don't have that until the guy himself or herself only tend to want a God-fearing man when she's going through something within her life. So in actuality, they don't really want it. Is it something just to talk? Is it something to talk about? Is it something just to make themselves feel good about it? Now, I'm not gonna lie. I met women that do tend to for me, I did came across women who tend to want God-fearing men, but then when they get a guy that is God-fearing man, they don't know how to treat the guy. They treat him like they treat their ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. They treat him like they treat the guy on the street. They treat him like they treat the guy they see on social media. They don't treat the guy with no sense of respect. So that's my only issue when it comes to that. Because I was like, okay, do you really want to wrestle? Or is it something that you say is a good idea, but then at the end of the day, you really want a freaking future? Go ahead, I can't.
Most of them want a future. Listen, most women who say they God-fearing never ask the man to go to church with them. They never even ask the man to come to Bible study or sit down and pray or even have fellowship at the house. This is something I know for a fact. That something is a talking point. And then let's also be something that Jordan say, feminism totally goes against the principle of God's will and what states in the Bible.
Facts.
Feminism totally goes against every chapter, especially when it's a very patriarchal focused. In certain chapters, when we're talking about the man being the head of the household, he's translating the message that God wants him to do to you. Women pick and choose what they want in the Bible and go along with the program. Most of the time, you don't care if your husband go to Bible study or not. You listen. There's a lot of guys who wife are in church. The dude is at home. There's a lot of women who are in church. Their baby daddy's in prison, and never ask their baby daddy, "Hey, you want me to pray with you before we get off the phone?" You ain't never asked this before. Listen, have any of these women ever asked to pray before they have sex? Have they ever had to ask, hey, this goes against what I truly believe in? Shut up and take this deep. Let's talk about it.
No, I ain't gonna lie. When you ever ask a woman, did she pray to have sex? I'm not gonna lie. This is very explicit, but most of the time, a woman say, "Oh, Jesus," when the simple fact when she's having an orgasm. But that's a whole other. That's the only time I ever heard a girl call out Jesus' name when they're having an orgasm.
Or God, Jesus or God, one of those two.
Yeah. But I've never seen a woman pray over the sanctuary of their bed.
Yes, sir. Nikki, baby, thank you for joining us. You said you're supposed to be with God every day, every second, every minute. That's 100%. I agree with that. And I'm gonna say this, for the women that have their child at wedlock, we don't bash you or anything. There's sometimes you might make a mistake and everything. But my thing is this on this one right here. If you still continue looking for that God-fearing man, if you got a kid or two, and if a man has a kid or everything, you got to make sure, if, with that kid and everything, it's like, hey, you got to make sure that, you are truly invested to that man, and make sure that child is invested to that man if you want to make, a marriage work and a future husband and everything. Because I'll tell you this, I hear this all the time, there's a lot of men, who get into a relationship and they think once or twice because, even though, you know, your kid's not his, you know, they think about, hey, you know, hopefully, you know, this kid don't disrespect me or anything like that. Because a man, you know, if the man's, you know, coming in, if the man wants to, if the man wants you to bring that child in, you know, he wants a 1000% respect, you know, he wants to be treated like a king, you know, all that type of stuff. Because a lot of men, you know, you know, especially in this age, you know, especially these men at Red Pill, you know, because Red Pill teach them like, hey, don't date these baby mamas, don't marry these baby mamas. You know, I totally disagree with that because, you know, that because of, you know, that, you know, a woman, she could still be a wife or whatever, you know, as long as she's following that man's lead, you know, because that man's going to protect and provide and have that provision. So, but yeah, I like I said, but yeah, make sure, you know, women, like I said, you got a child out of wedlock and everything, you know, you want to be a God-fearing man, you got to listen to that man, you make sure you're reading your Bible, you know, and try to make it work as best as you can. That's what I'm going to say about that.
No, but to me, it's not right for a God-fearing man to always deal with the baby mamas. That's not fair for him. He want to have his own family. He want to have his own legacy. Ooh. If a woman tends to have kids with these guys that ain't with pretty much a bum ass nigga, but then you want a guy to come in that's a God-fearing man that's on his purpose, that's working hard to deal with a baby mama that at the end of the day they didn't even wait for him to come. That's not fair for him. No offense to the baby mamas. I do love the baby mamas. I respect the baby mamas. You know, because there is some baby mamas that did made a mistake, or they did be manipulated by the guy they dated. So I understand that. I understand that aspect. But there is some baby mamas that their whole intention was to have a baby by a man. But then when the relationship doesn't work out, then they go ahead and say, you know what, God, I want a God-fearing man. And now you want the guy to take care of you, your baby, the house, everything else. And I don't think it's right for that man. Go ahead, Hakeem. I know you're about to go.
Hakeem, let me say something before you go. I'll tell you this, like when I was a teenager, my mama told me this. She told me this. I don't think she remember this, but she told me this. If I date a girl, you know, make sure she don't have no kids. Because you bring somebody with the kids, I ain't dealing with that. And that's coming from a single mother. and that's been ingrained with me, you know. Like I say, if I knew if I would bring a girl and she had a baby, if I bring her to my house, I know I was gonna get cussed out from my mom. Mm-hmm. I knew that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Because she don't want to be putting me in a situation when I'm taking care of, you know, I'm trying to build my purpose and build what I need to build. And, you know, and I'm getting stopped by, you know, her and the baby and everything. So I was always been told by that. So that was with me. It's like, you know, when I went out there, when I left high school and went to Miami, it's like, you know, if I ever find a girl, you know, she can't have no kids because I want to build my own family, you know, build my own, have my generation of kids and everything. But that was just me. Go ahead, Hakeem.
No, definitely. You want to know something? I'm going to go left field with this one. All y'all saying is perfect things. Now, where mine's grown except one, but I'm not dating, but I understand what Ronnie's saying, though. Most definitely. Now, mind you, that's an exception to the rule for everybody. Sometimes you can't help who you love, but you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to do the work if you want a God-fearing man. Now, I want to come at this strictly from a person who reads the Bible, who understands the Bible, who's a heathen as well. If women, and women, here's the funny thing is, y'all the ones control sex. We can't control y'all to have sex. If we did, it'll be a lot more kids out here. You feel me? It'll be a lot more things. So now here's the thing I'm going to tell you. If women say they wanted a God-fearing man, and follow the strict rules that in the Bible, we would not be fornicating and having sex until marriage. We would have no disease. Atlanta, Dade County, Broward would not be number one in AIDS and HIV. Facts. That's a bad drop. If we follow what God was talking about. If we believed in courting the way the Bible says it, and understand what Ruth and Boaz was talking about in that passage. And so many. It said it's hard to date with 3 boys, but I'm happy God set it up that way. He knows best, so I'm waiting. No, most definitely. Listen, Nikki, baby. Yes, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's not saying you can't. You're going to have to lead off by femininity. It's important. Most women in Miami, most women in Atlanta, most women in New York, most women in California do not lead off by femininity, especially for a God-fearing man. People forget that if we start to go from text to text, most men who are in church want a feminine woman.
Yes, sir.
They want a woman who's going to allow her man to go to be in front of the place and has him to represent the family, not you coming before him. There's no such thing as a boss B in the church. There's no such thing as a boss B in the church. You're not before the pastor. You're not telling what the pastor to do at his house, are you? Our spiritual father? Listen, you're not wearing lingerie at the church. You're not cussing at the church. You, especially if you're one of the leading ladies, you're an example to be holding. So the work got to be done. None of y'all not even doing the work to be in favor of God. For y'all to be talking about y'all want a God-fearing man. Hallelujah.
Look, prime example. Look at the situation with Derrick Jackson and his ex-wife. That's a prime example. That is a God-fearing woman dating a bum-ass nigga. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
They say they need something, but then they go something totally opposite. Mind you, that woman there is a God-fearing woman. She's not supposed to end up with a Derrick Jackson.
Exactly.
But that shows you that the criteria of sometimes the way the women think. They say they want one thing, but do another. Now, on the concept of the baby mamas, the only issue I have with them is how come when there's a guy that's not into God, they able to submit their body to him, but when the guy is into God, really into God, they have a hard time doing so. There's the hypocrisy there. Go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, I Ronnie, you hit it on the money on there, and I was going to say this too. Damn, what was I about to say? I've been blind. Damn, I had it.
Yeah, I know it's too strong. I know
because he hit me with that. Because he hit me with that. Derrick Jackson, the ex-wife. I was like, oh damn, that was a perfect example right there. because Derrick Jackson was been cheating on her, but once he started, he been cheating majority of the damn marriage.
Definitely, but listen, Derrick Jackson was a fool because he weaponized God for his favor.
That's right.
He weaponized him. He didn't care about God because he would honor his vows and would have worked out with his vows. But before we get in there, let's give a shout out to Gore with the $10 cash app. Let's give a shout out to Gore with the $10 cash
shout
app.
out to Gore with the $10. Yo, I want to drop the Marco. But shout out to you, baby boy.
Shoot that horn out, baby.
He's trying to keep the lights on over here. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to keep the lights on. Let's give a shout out to Gore for the $10 cash app.
Appreciate that, brother.
Appreciate that, brother. We just gonna go to church today.
Go ahead. Well, that was he passing the offering, Pastor.
Yeah. You see, but Derrick Jackson is one of many examples. Let's talk about the women who are very highly in the church are still sleeping around. What about the Braxtons? Tamar and them. They're highly, they was in church. They was married. She stopped fucking. She talking about she looking for a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Remember, their father was a pastor.
Their father was a pastor.
But the thing is about the father, he cheated on his wife.
100%.
And left her and got a new wife. But that's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation. We don't represent those type of men. Let me ask you a question. Is TD Jakes out here doing that?
Well, I mean, I really don't know, but there's no scandal. But no, as of now, no, he's not.
It would have came out by now.
It would have came out.
It would have came out, yeah.
Mind you, he don't have no outside kids. He's still married to the same woman, and his wife is still as feminine as she was when he's just married her. So we need to start to gauge this conversation and want to understand to say, you sure you want a good Christian black man when most of the men women marry are not even Christians? Some of the guys you marry are Muslim, and you're a Christian, and your husband is Muslim. You just say, "Girl, I'm with Rashid," but you talking about God and saying you going to church. How you ever heard of something called equally? You're not equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Unequally yoked. Yes.
Unequally yoked. We're talking about we're in a situation where we're living in Sodom and Gomorrah. You see her panties before you see her pastor. Those are two P's I just switched up. You'll see her panties before you see her pastor. Sometimes these girls don't even know your name, but will know a verse in the Bible. And is not following what the Bible's talking about.
I want to say too this to Hakeem. Remember that guy who went viral who had 7 kids and 7 baby mamas? A lot of women are doing that, and it's not just regular. Some of them are professional women. They're doing this. They're not following the book. They say they want a God-fearing man, but they jump around from D to D. They want to be sexually liberated. And there was a time in our Black community we was very conservative, especially in the church. We was highly conservative in the church.
Talk about it.
See, y'all being nice today. I'm gonna be honest with you. Most of the time, women don't want a God-fearing man because they say his sex is boring. He's boring.
That's the worst. That's the worst thing to do.
He's boring. All he want to do is talk about word, his career, his purpose, and God. Women don't find that to be attractive. Women want something that they can have, something that be exciting, something that get them wet at the end of the day, and something that's gonna get their mind stimulated. If a God-fearing man don't have those entities, forget it. You're wasting your time. You are boring.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
But you in the God. Why does sex even matter if you're a God-fearing woman?
Yes, sir.
Women. I agree with you, but at the end of the day, the Bible does come up with the fact that man still got to be submissive to his wife when it comes to the aspect of love. So you better know how to love your wife in that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
But they never talk about having an 8-inch dick, or to be able to go like somebody rocking like. The Bible ain't talking about that. The Bible ain't talking about for you to have enough stand up and like.
Well, I'm talking about human nature. The Bible ain't talking about that, but human nature. You better know how to ride. Even if you have a 2-inch, you better know how to use it. You know what I'm saying?
So let's do me a favor then. Throw the Bible out with the baby in the bathwater then. If you're not going to live by it, why are we even talking about being God-fearing? Let's all live like the devil. Let's all live. Let's have threesomes. Let me pee in your mouth. Let me do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Look, our first time floor say sex is mentioned in the Bible.
But okay,
he said it. Sex is mentioned.
What context, Fresh Sound Florida? In what context, Fresh Sound Florida? In what context?
He said the Songs of Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about romance.
Okay, so let me tell you.
And I ain't even mentioned the Song of Solomon. I just said, hey, it's just common sense. Oh, but not only that, let's keep it real. King Solomon was a freak. He had multiple wives, multiple concubines. So he knew the logic.
His bloodline was cursed for that.
Taking care of
His bloodline was cursed for that. For snatching, for fucking other niggas' hoes. For fucking other, and getting niggas. Listen, he was getting niggas killed behind that pussy.
Yep.
Praise the Lord. He was getting niggas knocked off behind that. He said, fuck that, I'm gonna go fuck her. Fuck that. Listen, the P was more powerful than the provision. A nigga can't trust no nigga like Solomon. I'll be trying to overthrow him the next day. I said, we gotta get that nigga up out of here.
I have a question. I don't know if y'all can answer this. I don't know if Nikki Baby can answer this. Hey, Nikki, if you want to join in the chat, we would love to have you on the chat. Where did it start when women started to say, he started to say, he has to have a big D to order, to be God-fearing. I want to know where that came from.
A lot of women started from when they're in a very young age because of the simple fact of little girls when they teenagers, they read a lot of erotic type books, and not only that, but a lot of them watch flicks, which is porn. A lot of them do watch porn, so that's why they get the whole concept. And not only that, but women talk a lot. Well, when they have homegirls that had a sexual encounter, typically the girl will always mention the guy's size. So that's where the girl will be like, okay, he had a 4. Then the girl will talk among themselves like, hey, no, I want him to have at least a 6. That's where they get that concept from. And remember, and not only that, when women gets older, they sex drive immediately increase. It grows on a rapid pace. Go ahead, I can.
Check this out. This is why a man is better off fucking with a woman who is looking. First off, let's be real about it. Women who are looking for marriage is not looking for an 8-inch cock for you to be able to blow his back out. Because most of the dudes that can blow your back out can't pay no bills. They got big feet and dirty sneakers and crusty drawers. They come, blow your back out, and they go home. These niggas cannot pay no bills. They barely got a bank account. And you know, Kevin Samuels say this: the one who you're going to marry and the one who's going to love you and be there, respect you, and not bring you back no diseases, his sex game is not the best. Because you want to know why he had to focus on other things. He had to improve on other things, but the bedroom game. We're not saying it's not going to get better over time, but the D is going to be garbage in the beginning. He might finish in a second or two. But the question I want to ask y'all is sex important to you? Is sex the basis or the foundation of the relationship? Or
Jordan's married, but me, yes. Yes, sex out there, yes. Sex, yes. Sex is like my, if you ask me, sex is like my therapy. It's like me sitting on the couch. Without that, I ain't got therapy. You know what I'm saying? So sex is that's my therapy. So it's very important. I don't know about Jordan.
No, sex is very important. You know, I'm not saying it's probably like my top, you know, top 3, top 4, you know, everything. But you know, but yeah, especially a man, it's a hard like me. I'm hard drive. Shoot, I gotta get it in for sure.
Thank you. I don't know if it's a Scorpio thing. Me and Jordan are Scorpios, so that might play a part. But yeah, to me, sex is important. You can have a bad attitude, but if the sex game good, I might have to deal with you, Hakeem. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be like, I have to deal with you. I'll sacrifice that headache. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Oh, Gore say something interesting. Read that, Hakeem.
Yeah. Go ahead, Gore say something. Yeah.
Gore said, is it interesting that when we become promiscuous, the dick and the vagina size become the topic of conversation? Before the era of self, most men and women didn't have any sexual partners to compare. Bag drop.
Gore be coming in with the bag.
Listen, he just say something very, very dead on. And I wanted to hone in on this. Before 1998, and let me tell you why I say 1998, a lot of conservative views and families were still together from a large percentage. We started to go downhill in the 90s. You feel me? I remember vividly relationships were being together and having one of the most. You know what I'm saying? And it was infatual to stay. Most women stayed with their husbands because their husbands were great. And here's the thing. If you did it the right way and you got with your husband and you was a virgin and he was the only man you slept, he was the best thing you ever had. Same thing with a man.
Read that comment there. See, that comment there is a prime example. He didn't please her.
Okay, he said, I just read about your show. Tom Brady had to go get divorced because he couldn't fully please his woman. He's making $40 million a year. How can you please a woman?
But that didn't please his woman. It didn't please her. Women, I'm telling you, they're all about pleasing.
Listen,
they don't have nothing to do with the title. They don't have nothing to do with God fearing. They want a guy that.
I'm about to say, if that's the case, get you a damn dildo. Get you a toy.
Women have that, Jordan. The toy market is the number one thing. It's like over $1 billion market.
And that's the thing.
Most women right now in their purse have a toy in it.
Exactly.
Look inside a woman's purse.
If that's the case, what's the problem? If you got the toy, what's the damn problem? If you're in a relationship, I'm just saying y'all can have some fun and everything. If I don't know, yo, that's just crazy to me. Go ahead, Hakeem.
Let me tell you something. I want to say this clearly, and I want to go this and say this. If you want to be pleased, go get you a broke boy, because they got enough time to focus on their backstrokes. You can't have one or the other. You can't say you want a husband and you want a provider. Most of these women want damn near everything. They want him to be a super thug with an 8-inch cock. They want him to be God-fearing. They want him to be Superman. No, it don't work like that. Most men are not built like that.
But and it's hypocritical for the man, because the man say, I want my woman to be able to cook, clean, be submissive, and also be a God-fearing woman. So what happens? What happens? She can't cook? Are you still gonna be with her? What happens? She can't clean? Are you still gonna be with her, even though she got the aspect of a God-fearing woman?
Listen, I like that you say that. Those things can be. Those are very easy things to change. You can't change physiology. You can go learn a cookbook. You can go learn how to wash some clothes. You can't learn how to make your dick bigger. You can't make your walls tighter. You can't do it unless you get some type of surgery. But I don't know how you're gonna do that. Let me tell you something. When you're in love, we got another one from my brother of Seven and Muhammad. A Rastafarian told me a prostitute is easier. Just pay it and no headaches. LOL.
Yeah, it's true.
He says the broke boys usually are locking up these women, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question. The broke boys are the ones who are tampering with other niggas' marriages, because women say, let me see if he can plow this out for a minute.
Yes. The broke boy, yep, they are doing it. The broke boys are doing it.
You know what I mean?
The broke boys are doing it. The broke boys are the one. Hey, subscribe. Hey, Rob B is in the house.
What's going on?
Rob B's in the house.
Yes.
Rob B. See, even Rob B. If I could drop the link to Rob B, she would come up here and she would even tell you that the broke boys at the end of the day, they still smashing these chicks. And they're married. They smashing the married chicks too. They smashing them because the married chick is not being pleased in the bedroom. But even though she got a God-fearing man, you know what I mean? I know a guy. I'm not gonna say his name, but I know a guy. He has smashed girls that's married, that's in the church, and that's married, that's in the church. He smashed them.
But listen here. I thought a woman was supposed to be happy with being content and having her husband. Where did the whole sex thing come into the play? You know, you bring it back to listen. Cheating on a man is worse than a man that's cheating on a woman. Let's be real about it, man. The day you cheat on somebody, nigga, his whole life is over. He is broken. I don't know if I dropped the link. I just dropped the link. He is broken. But the thing about it is, I've heard this from real good women. They say, hey, if he can't work it, he gonna find some other ways to make this pussy work.
But you know who would accept them? Another race. Because they don't think about that.
Listen,
they think about they don't think about that. They do not think about that. If you go to an Asian or somebody that's white, they don't think about that. They want somebody who can lead, who's God-fearing, like it says in the Bible. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Listen, Muhammad, we're not only talking about Black American women, we're talking about all women in the spectrum, because you have many women that cheat, but we're particularly talking about our own, because this is the main what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rob B got that. Rob B, she'll come up now. She'll tell you the truth on this game. You get what I'm saying? So, cause she knows.
Listen,
Subscribe to her contact. Rob B privilege. You know what I'm saying? She be going in. She be going in on the man and the fella, and she even talks about it. How it'd be literally God-fearing man say, you know what? I don't want a God-fearing woman. I'd rather deal with a prostitute.
Listen.
Or there's a God-fearing woman say, you know what? I don't want a God-fearing man. I'd rather deal with a harlot. Yeah. It's just.
And the thing is about a prostitute, they could deal with any sizes. They know what to do.
Yep. Very submissive.
Yes.
Very feminine. And
yes.
If you ask her to cook a meal, she'll cook a meal after she'll bust that nut for you.
Exactly.
But listen, Muhammad, if you can cam up too, baby. I could drop the link if you want to. That's my brother from the Nation of Islam.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I think we interviewed him too.
Oh man.
And you know the Muslim brothers, they sharp. The Muslims, they sharp. They gonna tell you what it is. They gonna keep it real with you because they study a lot. So they gonna tell you like, hey, so that's why he's going in right now. He's keeping it honest.
I made a mistake.
A nice guy is always gonna lie.
He said, I made a mistake from telling a woman everything. He said, I was an honest guy and a nice guy. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being an honest and a nice guy. The problem is you was with the wrong woman. There's plenty of women here who want nice and honest guys. It's those women who want to be with the Pookies and Ray Waves you need to stay away from. I always ask if you dated a street nigga. If you did, I have nothing to do with you.
And I also want to say this too. These women, like women at rappers who we say that they want this, who like city girls on that type of stuff. I'll just say like Cardi B, who else? Sierra, who's spreading these feminism.
Yeah.
You know they married, right?
Most of them.
Most of them are married.
Mm-hmm.
They say these.
No, but out of everybody, Jordan, out of everybody in the group, Sierra's the only one that got a girlfriend man.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Offset. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak for him. I don't know. But I know Russell, he really subscribed to that Bible. That's what he do. He's literally a God-fearing man. That dude right there, he go to church Sunday. He prayed before he start his game. This guy, he's really into his craft when it comes to God.
But he didn't get a God-fearing woman, though.
No, he's the one that converted. He converted Sierra. But Sierra was not into the church like that. He converted her.
From the context, you went and got a woman that was never married and had a baby out of wedlock. That totally goes against his Christian principles.
But then it goes back to what I was saying, that most men want a girl that ain't really God-fearing. Because if he was God-fearing, he could have just went ahead and went to the church and found somebody that he could find that's capable of marrying. But he said, no, I want a Sierra because that's what I like. But Jordan, you was gonna say something. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You was finished. I was cool with that. About because you hit on the head with Russell Wilson. But the thing is, it's like they started off good, but look at Sierra now. It's like she's being more sexually liberated, more liberating. The Russ don't care.
But Sierra always been like that. And I think Russell likes it. I'm being honest with you.
That's true.
That's why I don't think he's not even sharing. I think he likes it because that's what find him attracted to her in the first place.
That's true.
She always been sexual. She always been, to me, if you go back in the whole old catalog, you see Sierra always been that sexual.
That's true.
Yeah. So
if you're dealing with a woman that's a harlot or a woman that's a whore, you can't get upset and be like, oh, I'm a God-fearing woman, let me let her stop being a whore. It don't work that way. And I think that's what happened with Derrick Johnson and his marriage. See, his wife was trying to change him, but he always been a cheater. You can't change somebody that's always been. You can't. Man, Muhammad going in. Oh yeah, that's Rob B. What's up, Rob? What's up, baby?
What's going on?
How you doing? Hey.
Good. Oh, Rob.
What's going on?
I got Rob B. I gotta be quiet. She gonna go in. That's Rob B. right there, baby.
You so silly. Hold on a second. I'm getting my camera connected for you. Y'all know
Okay.
I love me a good piece of restream. How y'all doing?
fantastic.
Good.
Oh yeah, and the restream you can actually show it on your live too. Like you good. Click live, so you good.
I know I'm trying to stream it over there, and restream is giving me an issue. But listen, I've been listening to y'all conversation, and y'all got a lot of cap.
There we go. This shot told you, Rod. She gonna keep it real with you. She gonna keep it real with you. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Explain.
Who said that God-fearing men ain't supposed to put it down? Who said that because a man is holding something, or you know what I'm saying, he's a provider, he's that guy, that he also cannot be that guy in the house? I mean, ooh. Please, can we stop spreading that misinformation? I know plenty of good brothers that handle their business on all fronts.
You know
So
plenty
I
of good
heard.
brothers. but let's talk about the whole spectrum of brothers all over the world in the United States. Let's talk about it from a statistic standpoint.
Okay. From a statistic standpoint, there's plenty of good brothers. There's just a lot of women that be out here cutting up. And because people perpetuate this narrative that, you know, oh, well, the good guy, he's a lame. He's not going to be able to hold it down. He ain't going to love on you how you want to be loved on. Then that is a stereotype that gets perpetuated. So women wind up overlooking good dudes because they like, oh, well, he might have a good 6 figures, but he ain't going to be holding nothing. And can we also stop perpetuating this myth that all women want a 8-inch or bigger? Because the reality is a lot of women are too shallow in that area to be able to handle that size of length or girth. Like they really just can't do it. You guys know what it is because y'all be looking at those sites. When you see women that have half of the of the appendage still falling out their body, that lets you know right there that women can't take They can't take that. So we gotta stop. We gotta stop saying that. And quiet as it's kept to all the ladies that watch this show. It be the good, quiet dudes that go to work every day that'll turn around and be a bedroom bully, snatch your whole soul, and then you'll be like, "What happened?" I'm gonna be quiet though. That's giving too much.
No. Listen. You're not wrong. And you're right about that. And we're not saying that we speak in generalities. That doesn't mean it's the whole set true. But from a larger point, we're only saying what women have only told us and what they've showed us in action. You feel me? I'm trying to say? If we go down, and mind you, let's not use celebrities. If we use everyday life, because I got some everyday life stuff that's going on. I got some homeboys who are going through some issue right now, and they're losing relationships because of some thugs, because of some niggas who can lay it down. You know what I'm trying to say?
That's not why they're losing their relationships. They losing their relationships because they picking whores. See, if you pick a whore's gonna be a whore.
That's right.
No matter what she gotta go on,
exactly.
no matter where she going, no matter what she pretends to the world, if her true nature is to be a whole, see you next Tuesday, that's what she's gonna do. We have to start, men and women, selecting better. Start actually vetting people better. Stop just hopping into bed with people, and then you got somebody that gave you the drawers on the first night. You got somebody that blew your back out on the first night, and you think that's going to be a chaste and virtuous person that's going to be able to maintain a relationship? They couldn't even maintain past the first day. I don't know what happened to people like, you know what I'm saying? First day, maybe if the date went good, you might get a kiss.
Yeah.
A kiss to build a dream on. Now it's Netflix and chill. People not even going on no dates. Oh, what you doing, shorty? Come through the house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some DoorDash, watch this movie on this bootleg pirate website because I don't even want to spend $35 to go to the movie theater. Let me bang you out. And then you don't hear from me no more. Now you ghosted. Or shorty will come through like, oh, what are you doing? Like, oh my God, I'll just come over to your house. She don't want you to go to her house because she got a whole bunch of hella bullshit going on at her house. She trying to hop on, hop off, and then she finna ghost you. You don't even know where she live at.
And I would say this: sometimes I can't be so bad that some like I said, when a man and a woman's talking, sometimes they can have sex in the first 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh no, I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact.
and then that's it after that.
But let me ask you a question, Raw B. Not to go ahead, finish what you said. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, the reality is that everybody's broken. Everybody's broken, and they're trying to fill empty holes with sex, and that ain't it. I ain't want to gossip though, but you ain't heard that from me.
Yeah. So there's a comment in here, and I want your opinion about this. My brother Sevelin Muhammad says that the corporate chick is the real hoe. At least a hood chick will let you know what it is.
Oh, that's a true comment though. That's true. Robert, you can't disagree with that. That is true.
That's not really true. And that having that mentality will get you messed up. Because these hood chicks will tell you a whole bunch of bull and really be hoeing. There's, and I know hood chicks too that sit there and they pretend they real hood. They live down to the whole ghetto. They be in church every Sunday, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday now, they got a different dude. They got multiple baby daddies. They got children hither and yon. See, a corporate chick, she might smash you, but because her priorities is to be successful, you don't have the added baggage usually of a multitude of baby fathers. Or if you pull up on her house, you might run into the next dude. It might be a trigger side cheese situation because that corporate chick got something to lose. Them hood chicks is dangerous. Just saying.
What about femininity? Do you think women have lost their femininity in today's days?
Ooh, I think men lost their masculinity, so therefore women have to be masculine.
That's both ways. So it's both ways. I like that. Yep.
Whoa. Woo. Hold on.
You right about that?
Yeah.
And she blew you out the water, right? I told you, Robbie, you don't play, man. Whoa, yeah, I got you thinking, huh, Hakeem? You dealing with the go here.
I got some acid reflux. Because that shit kind of fucked me up, dude. So
it did. It messed you up. You was winded.
I was. In the sense is I could agree. I could agree with her, but then I also have to look at it from this point that women have the choice to be able to pick the right man that they want, and they're overlooking a lot of good brothers.
I won't debate that point with you, but what came first, the chicken or the egg? See, when we really want to break down the whole schematic in the community, now you say in the 90s is when relationships started getting crazy. That's not true. Relationships started getting crazy in the community after 1964, once there were no longer shotgun marriages. After that, we had that whole hippy dippy free love era, and then we had the crack epidemic. So those 2 decades, everybody sleeping with everybody, a free love, and then crack pipe smoking. That is what really destroyed the community. Now you have a whole bunch of little boys that are not being led with masculine energy. And you have a whole bunch of little girls that are not being shown how to act and behave with masculine energy. So therefore, you see women from about a good 1970, 1968, shout out to Claudine, playing the masculine role, being the provider, being the protector, holding down the whole entire household. So that started to spawn a generation of men that already look at women as the ability to provide and protect. Well, she don't need me anyway because my mama did this. And when you listen to men of today and how they interact with women, they, especially when they have children, well, my mama didn't impress my daddy. He came around when he wanted to come around. Oh, I don't got to be bothered. Oh, well, that's not my problem. You the one going to have to raise these kids because that's how their fathers left them. So it's pain being spewed out to a whole bunch of other people because people haven't gone to therapy and dealt with their own issues. Now, when we look at other communities, because I know you're talking about the whole spectrum, not just our community. When we look at other communities, the juxtaposition is they have never had that breakdown in their families because per capita, even the hippy dippy free love ones, they still had that underlying theme. Okay, you got it pregnant. It may not be a shotgun wedding, but you ain't finna be leaving my grandchildren out here like this. You're going to take care of these damn kids. That's when nepotism was born. You could be a piece of crap, ain't nothing person of a different color, but they father in them is going to pull you into the workplace. Listen, yeah, I know he's an idiot. He can't accomplish anything, but we're going to put him over here and make him sweep the floors. He's got to earn the money to take care of these grandkids. They have a bigger event of marriage and family and structure. So that is the legacy that's passed down. And the percentage of them that are on drugs is smaller because these drugs weren't force-fed into their communities, which is why it's highly hilarious that the opioid pandemic is now a major crisis. We got to work on wellness and families matter and all of this and all of that. But when it was crack, ain't nobody pay attention. Shout out to Iran-Contra. That's a whole nother topic.
Mm-hmm.
So on Raw B, what do you expect a man to do? Like that's a God-fearing man that's actually looking for a woman that he want to settle down with. What in your in your logic, what you expect him to do? I just want to hear your thoughts.
Not be thirsty, not be trying to smash. Don't act like sex is a non-factor, because that's not the way God made us. God, in fact, made us to be fruitful and multiply. And he said, if you deny your spouse, you are committing sin. That's actually scripture in the Bible. So therefore, if you want to have somebody that you can pour into in that capacity, and you're maybe under-equipped or over-equipped, or your pocketbook is a little bit too open or it's a little bit too closed. If you're interacting with one person, then you wind up melding into each other and becoming in simpatico. But if you out here and you dealing with this person, that person, and the other person, then you never going to have that connection, because what a lot of people don't understand is sex is a soul tie.
Yep.
Sex is very intimate. So
Facts.
if you being that open with everybody, you cannot be intimate with anybody.
But go ahead.
Muhammad had a question on, I think Hakeem. He had something.
I think Muhammad says, so they can't. What he said, so they can't respect a man.
Oh, I don't know what they can do. I know that women that I know are able to respect men that respect themselves. If I see you and I know that you're a community penis, I can't take you seriously. I'm not even going to have a conversation with you. Neither is anybody in my friend group. But these women that deal with dudes that are community penis, well, they have a void that needs to be filled, which is why I think there's so much of an attack on the independent woman, because the independent woman doesn't necessarily have a void. Yes, there's toys, but let's be honest. Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. That's why they be breaking them damn toys, running out of batteries, and losing their whole entire mind.
Uh-oh.
See, you get clarification of what you said earlier about the toy. Look, it doesn't work.
That's what I like to hear. Thank you so much.
It doesn't work. But okay, you were saying about because of daddy issues. No. Women that don't have a father can respect a man, but they actually have to actively work on it. They actually have to have the model of the behavior that should be present and be able to signify within themselves if they're on a wrong path, and they have to course correct. Just like with men. If men are in toxic relationships over and over again, they have to be able to signify, okay, maybe I have mommy issues. Maybe mommy was a little too free with her pocketbook. Maybe sisters and aunties, they did a whole bunch of stuff, and that's really toxic and it's lame on their part. But that doesn't mean that the woman that I run into on the street is the same woman as the women that I have observed in my lifetime.
He said, what about community vagina?
Well, if you see a woman that's community vagina, men will still sleep with her. Men will be like, oh, well, let me get my turn on the knob. And then when that woman turn up pregnant and that Dana come back and say that baby belong to you, now it's, damn, my baby belong to a hoe. I can't stand that hoe. Whoop, whoop, wop, wop, wop. Where's your discernment? Because I don't know. Dudes that just be putting their penis anywhere, I just be looking at them like tragedy.
But women are still attracted to these type of men.
No, they're not.
Come on, Rod. They are. They are attracted to those men.
Baby.
Now you know it to be true.
Like
the lame guy that's at church is being overlooked.
Oh yeah.
Let's keep it a buck.
Or if he working at Jeffy Lube or Valvoline.
Hey. There's a lot of sexy brothers working at Jiffy Lube and Valvoline, and there's a lot of sexy brothers that's in the church too. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let y'all do it. I ain't gonna let y'all do it.
We're not saying that but they're not getting chose. They're not being chose the first.
Well, those are silly women. Those are silly women that want to get ran through. I'm sorry. Like, some women have to go through this alleged hoe phase, just like some men have to run around and sow their oats. I don't know if that's what people feel they need to do. Then, of course, they're going to eat a lot of spoiled and poisonous fruit, because low-hanging fruit is the easiest. You have to have a level of respect for yourself. You have to have some standards for yourself. Once you have that, then you don't want the low-hanging fruit.
And also I want to add this, and also have discipline as well.
So
Right.
I want to ask you a question.
And now you have Jordan, but I want Jordan to ask her a question. He had a question, Hakeem, before you go. Jordan had a question that he asked us earlier about young girls, why they so sexual, I think, or how they become very sexualized at an early age. And Robbie can answer
my question.
Hey, Jordan, remember that question.
I want to ask. I was going to ask Nikki Baby this. It's like, why is women's they want the D's? It's like they don't want top priority.
Women don't want the D as top priority. Women want the connection. How men frame and structure that connection is they make the qualifier for the connection be the sexual interaction. And the way society has set it up, where the beauty standards are, video vixens, half-naked girls, OnlyFans, Instagram, and all of this other stuff, then women try to fit into society in order to get the man that they desire. But for women, I mean, start looking at the conversations you have with dudes. If dudes are talking to you in a way that is subpar to your standard, don't be afraid to block, delete, move on. Well, a lot of women are out here desperate because you got places like the Manosphere telling women that they are going to hit a wall, that nobody is going to want them, that they're not going to be able to have kids, this, that, and the third. So now that's forcing a younger demographic of women to lower their standards to accept anybody because they don't want to hit a wall and be out there by themselves. Oh, no. Oh, my God in heaven.
Boy, you just got, hey, Robbie, you got some new subscriber today. Them guys are loving you.
I feel it, but I do.
Whoa.
I do think that there's a lot of decisions that could have been corrected early on before having to wait after a certain age to correctly say, okay, now I'm willing to lower my standards. Because when you were like at 25, what you did at 25 is not what you did at 40.
I can't speak for every other woman, but the bar's always been high for me. Okay. But some women, but I also have a dad, so I have a dad. I'm daddy's little girl.
Okay. That Robbie, you making money. You making money. Now let's say if you wasn't making money and you didn't have a dad, will your standards still be that high?
I wasn't always making money, but I always had a dad. My standards was always high. What you mean you trying to call me after 10 o'clock? You can't even call my house after 10 o'clock. My mother wasn't having it. We ain't had no cell phones. We had a house phone. Who is calling my MFing house? What time is it? Hang up on them. Whoop, whoop, whoop. People that be outside beeping the horn in the house. Not at my house. Who the hell is outside my house making all that goddamn noise, waking up the neighbors? They better get out their damn car and come knock on this door. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? It's up to parents too.
You're right about that. There was a standard. There was a curfew.
No, I'm from New York.
Oh.
Even as a grown woman, I was 23 years old in college. My mother was like, if you don't come in my house by 2 o'clock in the morning, you might as well stay wherever you're at. Like, what you mean?
Wow, that's the old school. So that's that. You don't see that no more.
Right. Wow. So it wasn't none of this being out in the street all day. But again, it's the spillage from the crack epidemic. Because don't get it twisted. Crack turned into weed, shrooms, pills, and alcohol. You notice how it went from crack to St. Ives, especially growing up in New York City. You cannot go to a store, a corner store, without the first thing you see on the door, St. Ives. Remember when they had all them different colors, different flavors and stuff like that?
The special brew.
Yeah, they was pumping that heavy. So they just replaced one addiction with another. That's when you started seeing liquor stores pop up like every couple steps. So you have a whole generation in the 90s where people were high as hell. They were drunk as hell. Pimp culture was being promoted incessantly. And Uncle Luke and the big nudie Judy booty was all over the TV. BET Uncut, all of this good stuff. So it was a video vixen culture.
Yeah.
Superhead. Y'all made Superhead a celebrity. Y'all made this woman a celebrity because she licked on some skin. What is it? I can't.
Yeah, it was definitely heavy around those times.
No, you're right. You're right.
And everybody said you spit in fact. And remember, most of the guys in the chat is men.
Yeah.
So they said you spit in fact.
Yeah.
So you got Hakeem winded. I never see Hakeem winded.
Yeah.
Hakeem doesn't come back. He like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not, listen, I can't say no when somebody telling the truth. I'm going to be quiet. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he literally quiet. I'm like,
you know what I mean? I haven't seen anything to be corrected. She's on point with it. So, you know what I mean?
yeah, she Raw B, man. Raw B. But yeah, but shout out to Raw B, man. We're about to end this, but shout out to Raw B, man. Y'all go and subscribe to Raw B. Thank you for coming up. I think I put a link in the chat. I'll put a link again in the chat. Mars just put a link in the chat. I already put it in the Facebook group. So there's people on Facebook who are watching us.
Thank you. I know I've been busy doing some other stuff, but I've been in the clouds and chilling and stuff. This definitely was a good stream. And stop telling this lie too about the damn government food stamps. Because really why a whole bunch of women is independent women right now is because they grew up in a food stamp culture, having to take paper food stamps to the store and being embarrassed. And they was damn determined that they wasn't going to be embarrassed like that no more as grown adults. You understand what I'm saying? But to answer the question, because, you know, I know somebody had felt like I had derailed the conversation a little bit. Women really do want God-fearing Christian men. The reality is they are too afraid to live under the weight of what that entails because a lot of people are simply heathens. They're heathens. Ain't nobody following God's word at all. So y'all better stop worrying about sex, stop worrying about Netflix and chill, stop worrying about how thin someone is or how plump someone is or whatever, and worry about how spiritually aligned they are with you that way. But this was fun, and I will catch y'all again. I did share y'all out. I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate you.
No, we share you. Put you on Instagram, give you a shout out. Well, man, bro, you gotta come back again, man. The women love you. Nikki baby, you got her speaking in tongues.
Yes.
I definitely will.
All right, bye. Thanks again.
Bye. Yeah, man. Shout out to Raw B for coming by. God, this is what we do in Chaos, man. This is how we get down each and every week, man. You never know who may show us. So go in and subscribe to Raw B. I'll put a link in the chat. Also on the Facebook as well. So, guys, make sure y'all subscribe to Raw B, man. She got 12 subs, man. She worked her way up by telling the truth.
Yes.
She don't hide nothing. That's why I mess with her. Raw B, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Gore as well. Shout out to Urban Noise. Shout out to Muhammad.
Seven and Muhammad.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Jabari. Shout out to Nikki, baby. It's great to see you back. She been hiding in the cloud. I say, Nikki, where you been at? Nikki's back. So shout out to Nikki, baby. And go ahead, King.
Listen. When Nikki Baby was going, I was riding through Bunch Park, the city. I was riding through whole Miami looking for you. I say, I'm on the phone. I said, "Boy, I'm looking for it."
Yeah. Shout out to that one Twitch watcher, whoever it is. He need to say something.
Yes.
At least say something.
Yeah. And
for God's sake,
shout out to you, man. That cash up, man. Like I said, we really appreciate that.
Hey, listen, before we get into this, my brother Muhammad, and anybody who watches this live stream, he does life insurance in the state of North Carolina. If you're looking for life insurance in the state of North Carolina and South Carolina, brother Muhammad, he's in the stream. You can contact me. I can give you his contact information.
Yeah, email. You already know. Medium Bombs is in the description. So do that. And remember, guys, on your way out, make sure you hit the like button. On your way out, if you have not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also on your way out, make sure you hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember, we go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Remember, you never know who may show up. Look, Raw B, you're watching in the clouds. So you never know who may show up. This is why it's very important to thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. Remember, go to the community tab. In the community tab is the Chaos Culture Radio t-shirt And also, Rob B also sell t-shirts as well. So go to her channel. We also have a clothing line. So support the Black woman. We, here we love to support the Black woman. And also, Prince Hakeem, new book, Black Love. Support the new author. He's been blushing the whole week. If people been buying the book, it's 5-star on Amazon. Support the brother. You know what I'm saying? We're going to the 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? So good job to Hakeem. Good job to the team. Good job, Jordan, on this great topic. Jordan is the man. He killed it today, like always. And this is why you gotta tell you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Coach Radio. We over and out.
Peace.
Peace.